Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel for another weekly Mounjaro update. This is the video that I post every single Monday where I talk about all of my personal updates as far as weight loss and goals and how I did last week, as well as stuff that's just kind of been going on within the GLP-1 community, if there's any major news that has come out, that sort of thing. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right on into it. But if you're new here and you have never seen my face before, my name is Brittany. I'm so glad that you decided to click on this video today. I've lost over 100 pounds on Mounjaro and tirzepatide. I was even on Wegovy for a little bit, and I have loved to share my whole journey here with you guys. And yeah, you can go back to like 2 years ago when I was just starting to lose weight and kind of watch my entire journey and how my face changed and how everything changed. It's pretty cool to see. So love to have you subscribe and stick around. We're going to go ahead, like I said, and just jump on into it. I wrote everything down, as always, that I want to say. And we, of course, are going to start with the weigh-in. So last week I weighed, let's just turn the page here, 154.2 pounds. That was last Monday's update. This week I weighed 154 pounds even. So we're the same, essentially the same. As far as Chris goes, because if you don't know, my husband Chris is also he's on compounded tirzepatide, and he has lost over 40 pounds now at this point. So every week I like to give a little update on his weight loss as well. Sometimes he joins me for the video. Obviously today he is not here. It's actually like 10 o'clock at night as I'm filming this because, you know, it's been a busy day. But anyway, last week Chris weighed 186.3 pounds. And this week he weighed 185. So he lost 1.3 pounds this week, which is so great. His starting weight was like 226.8, I think. So he is down over 40 pounds. I'm so happy for him. He's doing such an amazing job. And he, fun fact, has been on the 2.5 milligram dosage the entire time. He's never gone up in dosage. He is a perfect example of sticking it out. And if the one dose is working, not going up or decreasing or whatever, and sticking to your guns, because he has been on 2.5 the whole time and has lost over 40 pounds on it. So pretty amazing. Okay, so let's just jump right on into, now that we've gotten the weigh-in out of the way, which, side note, okay, so let me think about this. That means together that we have lost, me and Chris together, like 150 pounds. Is that not insane? Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so compounding news. We had a few pretty big things come out this week. The first one is that Hallandale actually sent an email out where they stated that they are getting out officially of the tirzepatide game. So they, within this email, sort of said that they are going to be pushing forward with semaglutide until they can't anymore, and then liraglutide, and that is kind of sad. So Hallandale has officially kind of gone through all of the stock that they had, and they are no longer going to be selling or offering compounded tirzepatide. So I would assume that any, orders that typically went through Hallandale will be rerouted to other places, which kind of stinks, but it is just kind of the environment that we're living in right now with the compounded issues going on. So that was the first big thing. And then there also, I did want to give you a little bit because of this, because I saw that Hallandale had released that email. I was like, what is Orderly's current stock, right? Because I tell you guys know that I use Orderly personally, and I'm an affiliate with them. And so I tell you guys all the time, go check out Orderly. I love Orderly, but I didn't actually know what they actually had in stock. So I inquired, I sent out an inquiry, and this is what I was told. So they do not have the 6 or 12-month options available any longer. They have sold out, or they have sold all of the ones that they feel like they're going to be able to fill. They sold out of all of those. They do still have the 3-month starter pack of both semaglutide and tirzepatide. The tirzepatide 3 months is $5.99. The semaglutide is $2.99. So they have the starter pack available, and then you still can get monthly. So you can buy 1 month, and then you also can buy 3 to 5 month bulk orders. So the only thing that you can't buy from Orderly right now is the 6 or 12 month orders, which is unfortunate, but I think that they're just trying to be smart in that and say, okay, we know we can't sell a gazillion of these because then we won't be able to fill them. So I think they're being a little bit proactive and making sure that they're able to fill what they sell. So you can't get those, but you can get the others. And then the other main news type thing that I wanted to talk about was actually an interview that Man on the Pen did, where he spoke to the OFA, the Outsourcing Facilities Association's chairman. Okay, so he has a whole interview on his channel. If you've not seen it, I would highly recommend going and watching it. It's under his live sections. And essentially this chairman, this guest sort of goes over a bunch of different things regarding compounded tirzepatide and semaglutide, but not just that, it sort of gives you a bigger picture of what they represent and what the 503B pharmacies that are contracted with them or that are registered with them, what they actually contribute to the world. But one thing that I really found interesting that they were talking about was the whole like PBM issue, because you know how a lot of people, like every time you hear, why is tirzepatide so expensive in America, or Mounjaro, zepbound, why are GLP-1s so expensive in America when they can be offered for pennies in places like India, and everybody is always like, oh, it's the PBMs. But one main like thing that was pointed out, I've seen it pointed out other places as well, is now this whole thing with Nova and Eli Lilly, where they have like the direct pharmacy, direct to you in a vial type thing. They're not using insurance companies, okay? Which means like if you go to Eli Lilly Direct or Lilly Direct and you order one of their vials of any dosage, you can't file your insurance. You are sort of agreeing to be a self-pay patient and get it that way. So if they're not using insurance companies, that means that they are completely bypassing the PBMs, which means that they are in fact just greedy. Because, you know, they're offering essentially the same thing in many of another country for significantly cheaper. So I find that that's really telling, right? Like for so long, we've been blaming it on the PBMs. Like Eli Lilly is really not that greedy, but they're still offering in America for triple the price that it is in other places without a PBM. So just something to keep in mind there. I think that that was a really good point that was brought up within this interview, and you can definitely go and watch it. Another thing they talked about was how the cost issue definitely can be a reason for continuing compounds. And he gave a really good example of one, like a really big one that was sort of the FDA was allowing it to be compounded because of the cost. He gave a specific medication example that it's happened with in the past. So again, a really good interview. I would highly recommend going and watching it. I think it just gave a lot of insight into the 503B compounding pharmacies as a whole, and, you know, what Eli Lilly is actually doing by trying to take away that option. They're taking away the safer option, you know, other than like people going gray or whatever. They're trying to take down like a safer option than what people are going to turn to if they get desperate enough. So calling the safety card when these pharmaceutical companies and hospitals and so many other, the whole healthcare system has relied on the 503B compounding pharmacies for so many other things, like IV bags that you get in the hospital, they're a compounded med. You know, I've said that a million times. Like if you've been in a hospital and you've received medicine in the hospital, most likely you've received a compounded med. So it's just like in this current fight with compounded tirzepatide, they want to make it seem unsafe or to push the narrative that it's unsafe because they just want to scare essentially and kind of have people hop back over to brand. And it's really unfortunate because there's been so many times that just through COVID think that the whole compounding pharmacy community came together to really help. That's another thing he said. I don't want to give everything away that he said because I want you to go watch it, but one thing he said was that it's like we're there when they need us, but if they don't need us, then we're trash. And I just think that's so telling. I don't know. It's a great interview. Go watch it. But I do want to highlight those few points. The next big news thing is that Novo Nordisk has actually invested $75 million in a new experimental obesity drug. And this obesity drug is by Lexicon Pharmaceuticals. And Chris and I actually invested some money in Lexicon after this deal went out because they were a penny stock. Like we are talking pennies, like 16, 14 cents a share. And after the announcement was made that Novo Nordisk had invested to license this experimental drug, it like quadrupled up to like 67 cents. So it like sent them into, as investors say, the stratosphere of investing. And so what is so different about this one is that Novo Nordisk invested in a obesity drug that is not a GLP-1. So this drug actually helps to block a protein, and the protein is, I don't want to mess it up. So the protein is called ACSL5. And what this protein does is it actually plays a role in fat accumulation in the body and energy storage and energy use within the body, and is showing some promising signs of delaying stomach emptying and slowing down digestion and all of that as well. So it's not a GLP-1, but it is a possible up and coming obesity treatment. And the fact that Novo put $75 million into this just tells me that they have a lot of faith in it. So I think that that's really cool and something definitely to watch out for. I think that it's just fun to see all of the different ones popping up. There's even rumors about compounded tirzepatide tablets coming out, which they say could save the compounding world or whatever if they are able to make not essentially a copy, right? So many things coming down the pipeline and so many like what ifs and maybes that people are talking about right now, that it's just really cool just to watch it all unfold. And so if you've seen anything else, of course, always comment down below. I'd love to hear anything that you guys are seeing or reading or whatever. Okay, so news, we've done. Weigh in, we've done. Let's talk about what my goals are for this week. So last week, my goals were pretty simple. They were just to hit my protein goals, hit my walking goals, and hit my weightlifting goals. And I did all of those things. And I'm keeping those same goals for the most part this week: 120 ounces of water, 100 grams of protein, and walking 4 times, lifting weights at least twice. Now, those are all goals that are fine and dandy. But another big goal I think that I really want to accomplish this week is to run. So I used to love running. I used to run all of the time, and I feel I have not felt able to do so on my journeys thus up to this point because I don't feel like I was eating enough to sustain that. That's actually a topic that we are going to be discussing this week in depth, if we are fueling our bodies enough. I don't think that I had enough extra energy or calories in my day to go and do excessive exercise like running. Now that I am at maintenance and my dose is lower and I'm eating more, I think that it might be something that I'm able to start incorporating in my diet. And the last time I ran, I weighed 100 pounds more. So I feel like I also could like have a lot more stamina and a lot more endurance when I'm running and all of that. So my goal this week is to run twice, and we will see how that goes. I will update on that, but that is a big thing that I want to get back into, and kind of watch how it unfolds over the next several months. I would love to run like a half marathon. Like there's so many things I want to do. Now that weight loss is no longer a goal, I am a goal-oriented person, so I do tend to need to have a goal of some sort, something that I'm working towards. And in the past, every time I would lose weight, I would have that goal and then I wouldn't have a goal after that. So then it would just like, I need something to focus on. So I'd end up gaining the weight back and all of that prior to GLP-1s, of course. So yeah, I need a goal. This is going to be my new goal, to increase my running. Maybe we'll just kind of start slow. I haven't ran in a long time, and see what I can do with it. I am curious if it will make me significantly more hungry as well. So it's just something I'm going to have to watch and monitor. But I do want to start incorporating that into my normal cycle again and see kind of how that happens. So yeah, I also have a lot of fun content planned for this week. So I hope you'll stick around for that. Again, if you're not subscribed, please do. I love to build this community up, and we love to support each other. I also have a Facebook group you can check out if you're interested. I need to be more present in that. That's also a goal. Be in there more often, because I tend to not forget about it, but I just get busy with other things, and then like 3 days have gone by and I haven't checked it. So I need to be better about that. So okay. Also, one more thing. I told you all that I started a TikTok, and I did, and I'm still doing it, whatever. I've posted a few things here and there, but like, y'all, the GLP-1 world be different over there. Like, they be a little feisty over there in the TikTok world. And I feel like it's a younger community maybe over there. And so it's a little bit more like feisty. That's the only word I can think of to say. Like, they attack each other more. It's a different world over there. So I don't know how I'm feeling about that, but it is something I am noticing, that the sort of aura is a lot different on YouTube and on Facebook than it is on TikTok. So I don't know. Let me know if you've seen anything, noticed anything with that as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this weekly update video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.